all are currently listening and watching to the Lunch and Learn Hour with our guest, Marshaun Olaniyan of Love Restored, which is a part of the Brownstone Podcast Network. And she's here to discuss all of the things that she's got coming down the pipe. I wanted to make sure that we did this at the half mark because you got books.
Yes.
Okay. One that just made its appearance in the back. And then you have an event that's coming up. I want to definitely talk about that.
Yes.
And how your listeners and followers and viewers and subscribers can access you. So you got a couple of books. Let's talk about that first one that you showed me.
All right.
Healing. Okay. No, we're not going to talk about that one. What was the first book? Do you have it?
I do.
Yes, there it is. Reignite Your Relationship by 7 times.
Yes.
Reignite Your Relationship by 7x or seven times, 10 times, 70 times, right? What is that?
This is a book that I created based off of some of the lessons that we spoke about.
Okay.
But it was really, you know how we get into our relationships and we know that they are becoming humdrum and mundane and just we keep going through our schedules.
Yeah.
We do everything that we need to do. We go to sleep and we wake up and do it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to sleep and then we wake up and do it all over again. Mm-hmm. It is, instead of continuously going down that mundane road of staying disconnected, because ultimately that's what happens, staying disconnected, is finding your way to come back to each other, because the subtitle is so you can get back to making love and enjoying your spouse.
Oh.
Because if we're saying that we want to come together into these relationships and marriages, we want to have a companion, we want to have a friend, we have to keep all of that up. Yes, we want a sexual partner, but as we get older, we know that sex declines, right? So with that being said, you still want to have your friend there.
Yeah.
You still want to have fun.
Yeah.
You still want to have laughter. You still want to go on dates. And so this book, Reignite Your Relationship by 7X, so you can get back to making love to your spouse. It's all about reawakening, reigniting the spark that may have died out completely, or it's just about gone. So this is connecting you back together. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Oh, happiness is not, he ain't supposed to give me happiness. Hold up. Happiness is your choice. You gotta wake up. Happiness is something that you gotta bring to the table.
Yes.
He can't give it to you.
Right.
He can add to, but he cannot impart happiness in you.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So chapters like that. Definitely I'm talking about loving yourself. Absolutely. That's in here. And then I'll talk about one or two more. How we focus on the negative.
Yeah.
I need for you to focus more on the positive, because you may have the best thing since sliced bread, but you can't see it because the only thing you see is everything he ain't doing, everything he ain't bringing to the table versus what he is bringing, what he has had. Right. So stuff like that.
Wow.
Is all in this book, Reignite Your Relationship by 7X. So you can get back to making love to your Oh, did we bring out the church fan?
Yeah.
Am I talking to you? Did I come up here? Okay. I came up here. Okay.
Listen, let me tell you something. The truths just in the titles alone are so much, right? I'm listening to you and I'm going, oh my God, that was me. So when I called myself was in one, it was always his fault, right?
Of course.
But now I know better, and so I'm really excited to hear that you're even talking about that to your audience. And so here is how you can get this book. We're going to share that with you guys. And then also, guys, listen, Marshaun is a part of the Brownstone Podcast Network. So her content and what we're talking about today is absolutely going to be in Brownstone Living Magazine. And it's also going to be available on brownstoneworldwide.com as well. So you'll be able to get all of this information once again, even if you forget, like, oh my God, I forgot the name of the book, or I forgot XYZ. Here it is again, bit.ly/ Reigniting Relationships, bit.ly/reigniting relationships. You can definitely go ahead and check it out there. But again, this is going to be available along with her article for the month of July for the Brownstone Living magazine. We're really excited about that too, honey, because from what I understand, it's some good stuff. I ain't seen it yet, but we're going to go ahead and let the folks know that this is good stuff and it's what we need. So again, it looks like you're pointing all of the fingers back at them, the
self.
Like, I got to get me right before I can go out here and love anybody else the way that I want to be loved.
Yes.
You have to learn how to love you first and hold yourself accountable. Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely. Because accountability is a part of loving yourself. It is the deeper step to loving yourself.
Okay.
Understanding. And then just becoming more aware of what's triggering you and once that trigger happens, what are you doing?
Right.
So we can start to correct said behavior on that as well.
I love
everything is about accountability. It's really wholeheartedly taking responsibility for everything that happens to you. Everything that happens to you. Maybe your timing was off. That's your fault. Right? You didn't check in before you start talking. That's your fault. You left late. That's your fault. Right? So everything, not just in your romantic relationship, everything in your life is about you taking sole responsibility for all these things not going the way that you want them to go. When your day is bad, it's your fault.
It's your fault.
How'd you wake up? You can't allow all this stuff to come on you and you leave it here stuck in your person, on your body.
Yeah.
Got to release that stuff, get it out. So taking time to sit there and reflect.
Yeah.
That is paramount. Yeah.
And so when I make a conscious effort to acknowledge the fact that I am the center of what is happening around me.
Common denominator in all things that you are a part of.
Wow.
All, you are there.
So would you say this, before I can even make a shift, because here's what I'm catching. Before I can even make a shift in my life, I have to come to that initial realization that life is not happening to me. Like we are, like we've heard people say, why is life happening like this? It sounds like you're creating it.
Such a perfect word. Yes.
Okay.
You are, and I say co-create. Because remember, I'm a believer in God. So
yes.
with God, are co-creating your life.
Right. Got it.
With God. Absolutely. The creation of your life, the creation of your home, the creation of how you show up in this world, the creation of how your children reflect you.
Yeah.
Everything is creating. You want a beautiful relationship? Be intentional about creating a beautiful relationship. You want more respect from your man? You got to show more respect. You want more laughter? You have to be able to laugh more. Whatever the thing is, you have to be willing to do the things that you are expecting as well as asking from your spouse. You have to be willing to do it. And then guess what? Do it scared, but you still got to do it.
Wow.
Because that's another thing. Oh.
No, go ahead. That's another thing. I'm listening.
That's another thing. Fear.
Yeah.
Fear is what holds everybody back. And I'm sure if you listen to any self-help, anything, they always talk about fear. But fear really is the thing that holds a lot of us back from getting the life that we want, from getting the marriage that we want, from getting the relationship that we want, from getting the career that we want, from getting the bonus that we want, from getting the raise that we want, from getting whatever it is that you are trying to attain in your life, because you're scared of what the outcome will be or how the person would respond. It's like, I know that I need to say something, but but what if you just go there and speak with the facts, speak in love, speak with respect, but still get out what you need to say?
Absolutely. I love it.
The difference is so much bigger.
You know what I love about this program and just what you talk about overall?
Please tell me.
That it's that you are not pointing fingers at anyone else.
No.
Telling people to do the work.
Listen, we too grown for the
Right.
blame.
Come on.
We too grown for the blame game. And here's
Yeah.
one thing that I realize as well as no. Once you start taking full ownership of the way your life is turning out, the more you will stop blaming everybody else. The more you will slow down and stop reacting and start responding.
Come on. Oh,
You can't keep blaming somebody else for your life. Like when I hear, I started drinking because my parents were drinking. Well, you still made a choice to drink.
you made a choice.
Nobody came over there with that gun or knife or whatever, tied you up and waterboarded you with it. No.
Right. I love it.
You picked up the bottle and you kept drinking and you went over and whatever. And so everything is your choice.
It's your choice.
Okay, you deciding that you want to pop off, that's your choice. But now you got to realize there's consequences to your choice.
Come on now. That part.
You don't want to pay child support, but guess what? That's going to catch up to you. That's also a choice.
Absolutely. It is.
You don't want to put the time, energy, and effort into your relationship or marriage. Guess what? That is a choice. But now the consequence is probably going to be, you're not going to be there long, meaning married, meaning in that relationship with that particular person. And if you do, it's not going to be a connected relationship. It is not going to be a connected marriage. It's going to be very distant. And guess what? You two are going to be living separate lives. But why do that to yourself?
Yeah.
Why do it to the other person?
So would you say that if both of you all are working together towards this, because see, here's what normally happens. And I'm hearing you say you have to work on you, but what if the other partner doesn't really care?
It has not. Okay, in the beginning.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with the other partner.
Okay.
Okay, so at some point you two are going to have to come together and decide if you want to stay together and got to work things out, because there are going to be some conversations that need to be had, some actions that are going to need to be taken together. But initially, and this is where most people get stuck, because they have yet to do the initial step, which is working on themselves, which is reflecting, which is getting the help that you need so you can be better, so you can be more aware. A lot of us jump over that step, which is why we consistently blame and point the finger at the other person, because we have yet to look at our own self, smell our own stinking underwear.
Right. Okay. That part. Yeah.
We have yet to do that. And so until we can slow down enough to ask ourselves the tough questions, or get you some help, get you some coaching. Coaching, go to therapy. I have a lot of clients that actually do both in tandem. They'll go to the therapist and then come to me as the coach. We are different. We do different things. We work on different areas in the person, or with the person, I should say. And so I talk about moving you forward in your life. Like I said, everything when you're working with me, a lot of it is tied to you taking action steps, doing something in order to change and get the results that you see.
Okay.
Most therapy sessions are a bit different. So all of that's to say, absolutely working on self. After you have worked on yourself, and it depends on where you're at, because some people, they always want to know what's the time frame. It depends on where you're starting. If you have at least started to read some books or listen to podcasts and implement what you've been learning, because it's not just about learning the information, because it's not just knowledge that is power. It is applied knowledge that gives you the power. Applied knowledge. So that helps you to get catapulted to the next level in your life, not just knowing the information. Because a lot of people, listen, we talk about weight loss all the time. We all know that we need to eat less and move more.
Yes.
Weight. How many people are doing that? When the obesity rate is so high. So we know the information. It's not about knowing. You have to do something with the information that you now know. So yes, initially starts with you. Everything is all about you. It all depends on where you're starting, right? And then to move to the next level, your partner will have to come in. And then here's the thing with that. If your partner doesn't come in, one or two things have to happen, but each of them is your choice. The first one is you stay and deal with whatever and accept who they are. Yeah. Right? No blaming, no shaming. You know exactly who this person is. You have to accept. Or then the other hard choice, because both of them are going to be hard. The other hard choice is now you're deciding to say, this is not what I want my life to be.
Wow.
And your decision of walking away, your decision of divorcing. Neither one is going to be an easy thing because you only have control over you. You cannot control the other person. So even if you decide to stay and they never change, that was your choice, but it's also their choice to never change.
Absolutely.
You can't be going in there beating them up. So if you're accepting who he is for who he is, you can't talk to your girlfriends about how lazy and all the stuff that he's not doing. If you're going to accept them, you have to accept them. Love them. Perfect. That's your choice. It might be a tough choice, but it's still a choice.
Right.
Again, the second thing, no blaming, no shaming, no going on the outside and talking all this trash because, again, he was your choice. Yeah. Right? So you got to take ownership on that. And then if you're deciding to leave, own that. Don't allow society to tell you that you must stay because of X, Y, and Z.
Absolutely.
I want to wrap it up by saying, or I should say tie it all together by saying, as much as I believe in marriage and keeping the family together, unfortunately, a lot of us were brought together, married under false pretenses, and we should have never been in the relationship with the person in the first place.
Tell it.
So now you take that information how you want to take it.
It's the truth.
Should have never been there in the first place. But if you decide to leave, then you own that. Right. Everything is about ownership. Everything.
Yep, it is. Absolutely. Oh, this is so good. Oh my goodness. I can't believe we're down to the last 6-7 minutes before we have to wrap this up.
Aren't we?
Yes. I just looked up and it's like, what? So listen, let's dig deep just for a hot second because you have another book. What is that one?
I do. It is called Understanding Your Spouse Deeper. It's a 120-day relationship journal for couples.
Yes. Come on now. Tell it.
This one is not a read-along book at all. This one is, as you heard, it's a journal. It's all about, it's really thick if you can see this. It's pretty thick. And the reason why it's really thick is because it asks the same question, one for you and one for your partner. It's the exact same question. And I created it like this. That way you both can write them out. You both can, basically it's a pass back and forth book. They also call it that, where one person writes, right? Then they give it to the spouse. They write in it. And then this is the beautiful part about this. You come together and discuss the thing. And this is understand
that's
the person deeper because, and I really created this because these are questions that we should ask prior to saying I do. As we spoke before, not a lot of us got the tools before we said I do. So now if you want to create a deeper relationship with your spouse, you both can do this after you're married. This is an ideal book before. But if you don't do it before, do it after. This is going to help you with some of the easier things, as well as some of the things that's going to be like, ooh, wait a minute, hold on, I need to think about that. Let me put that down. Let me come back to that. I did that on purpose because I need for you to understand who you're lying next to, who you're sitting across the table from.
Right.
You're having children with.
Ooh, that's a big one because now y'all stuck with each other after that.
Listen, here, I'm going to read a couple of questions. Here's one of them.
All right, I'm listening.
Have you ever been overly jealous or stalked someone? I need to know that. That question actually came from, I actually got stalked before. Me.
My goodness.
Yeah. I've never been a stalker, let's be clear, but I absolutely have gotten stalked. Another question. How frequently do you two have sex currently? How often would you like to connect sexually? We know that's a big thing. I'll say one more. Oh, perfect timing, God. Thank you.
Okay.
How often do you pray?
Ooh.
Do you pray for your spouse?
Ooh.
Do you pray for your family? Do you two pray together?
Yeah.
Deeper. We need to understand.
Understanding your spouse deeper. Y'all, that was good stuff. That was good stuff right there. Listen. Understanding your spouse deeper, reigniting relationships, love restore with Marshaun Olaniyan. And listen, here's the question. You got an event coming up before we wrap. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so I'm super excited about this because I'm all about helping sisters out, right?
Yes.
So the event is coming up July 24th through the 26th. It is a virtual event specifically curated for Black women only. We have a theme here. Do we have a theme? We got a theme. So it is entitled Healing Black Women's Relationships Through Journaling. It is with me as well as another coach who specifically talks about journaling. She's actually a book coach. But before we write the book, we got to get this stuff out. So she knows all about journaling. So our focus is journaling and helping your relationship. Journaling and helping your relationship. So I am super happy about that. I'm super excited because I know that it's going to be all about giving as well as releasing the gems.
I love it.
And it is just allowing specifically the Black women to come in and have a safe space, understand how journaling can help them to create the life and why it's so important for us to release this stuff by using our pen and paper, not a digital device, and just being able to release a lot of this pent up stuff. So not only are we going to talk about what it actually is, right? We're also going to give you some exercises to right then and there get some of this stuff out. It's going to bring some things to the surface. It's going to help you clarify what's actually happening, right? So it's a lot of getting you, if you haven't started healing, it's going to start your healing journey. If you started your healing journey, it's going to help you take you deeper into being healed even further. And if you've never journaled at all, this is going to give you clarification of what journaling actually is, as well as a new tool to put into your tool belt in order to use later on. So this is Healing Black Women's Relationships Through Journaling from July 24th through the 26th. Is a virtual event. Definitely go ahead and sign up for it. And here is, I'm going to put the link in the chat for them to register there.
bit.ly, come get healed. Now, guys, here's the thing. This information, along with any other like registration or whatever, if you missed this, what I am going to tell you is this is going to also be in Brownstone Living Magazine, so that you'll be able to get this information, use the QR code, scan, register for it right away so that you can come get healed. That's what we're going to do, folks. Yes. This is amazing. Now, is there a fee attributed to this?
No, this is a free event. For sisters only. Free event for sisters only. It's in the title, Healing Black Women. So if you're not a Black woman, it's not for you.
Right. There you go. There you go. Come get healed. So listen, Marshaun, it's been a pleasure talking to you. You and I can go on and on and on. We have to be careful. That's why I'm like, okay, let me keep it staunch like you're, So guys, this has been a pleasure talking to you and really digging deep on what services that you offer, because I know about your podcast and I do know about Love Restored, but to really dig deep and find out that you are holding people accountable to their own stuff so that they can get the stuff that they desire from their partner and their spouse this is phenomenal. And it's a blessing because there are not enough people that are truly pointing the finger at the sister and saying, girl, wait a minute, get yourself right now. You got to what you doing? Don't put that all on him. He didn't do that by himself now, and holding people accountable is a real thing. Now, the event, of course, you guys, the articles, the content, all of that available at the through Brownstone Worldwide. And of course, Marshaun, you have your own website and stuff. So where can we find you?
I do. So you know what? You can find me at marshauno.com. www.marshauno.com.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and put that in there so we can let folks know where to find you. There you go, folks. It's been such a pleasure talking to you today. We could go on and on and on and on and on about
we do every time we talk.
That's how we talk, honey. Like we talked for 45 minutes before we actually went and did this. So this is a really, really good time. And guys, this is also part of being a neighbor of Brownstone Worldwide as well. We love to share and to help our community to continue to change the narrative. And honestly, that's what you're doing, is you're changing the narrative of how we tell our stories our way when it comes to love, self-love, relationships, and holding ourselves accountable. And that's a big deal. So are there last parting words for our audience today?
My last parting words would be, it's all up to you.
Amen. Amen.
Getting the life that you want, getting the relationship that you want, or the marriage that you want is all up to you.
I love
it. But you got to take actions in order to get it.
I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Marshaun Olaniyan with, of course, and I'm going to say it right, Marshaun Olaniyan. Marshauno.com is where you can find her, and also a part of the Brownstone Podcast Network. Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is where you can find her show. Wednesdays and Fridays are her show replays. You can definitely check her out there as well. All right, you guys, it's been a pleasure. Let's go ahead and end today's Lunch and Learn. And let's get back to our regularly scheduled program. You guys get ready, because there will be more Lunch and Learns with Marshaun and our other Brownstone Podcast Network neighbors in the future. All right, you guys, go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you next time on the next edition of the Lunch and Learn Hour.